Good evening, everyone. My name is Sandra Esenamapen, and I'm here for business. Some interventions introduced at the ports to streamline customs operations to enhance revenue mobilization are said to be having negative impact on the trading community. These include the container tracking note, the single window platform, among others. Chief Executive of Rescue Shipping and Investments Organizers of the Ghana International Conference on Trade and Finance told Joy Business high taxes that accompany the reforms actually are too aggressive and inimical to businesses.
Government, in a bid to improve revenue mobilization and ease of doing business, introduced some reforms at the ports over the past 2 years. According to some freight forwarders and operators at the ports, the reforms have been accompanied with some levies and taxes which are discouraging and have led to massive diversion of business to other neighboring countries. Speaking with Joy Business after announcing Ethiopia as a host for the 2019 International Conference on Trade and Finance, Chief Executive of Rescue Shipping and Investment, organizers of the event, Selassie Kofi Akom, described the move by government as unfair.
Trade has not been too much successful. You see, the government, though doing good things and bringing good policies, have been very aggressive, and in the process of this aggressive taxation of port activities had increased cost of doing business in our country. And so we have seen a sharp decline of TEUs. That is, we say TEUs as containers, a sharp decline of containers. That means trade is not coming. People are using other ports. But meanwhile, the GRA will dispute this fact because, of course, they need to prove to Ghanaians and economic indices that, yes, this policy is an aggressive way of raking revenue into the state coffers, is yielding fruit. But on the ground, I tell you, we are freight forwarders. We don't see the T, and I'm sure that the next statistics that will come from their side, including the Ghana Shippers Authority, you will realize a sharp reduction of TUEs, because that is what we use in measuring trade and what comes into this country. But
this year's conference will be held at the African Union compound in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to bring together business executives, policymakers, and entrepreneurs to articulate ways of enhancing intra-Africa trade. The Ethiopian ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Regasa Kafele Era, has been speaking about the benefit of the conference in Ethiopia.
In Ethiopia, so the experience can help for Ghanaians investors. And there is also experience here in Ghana. During that conference, the discussions go through which opportunities in Ethiopia, which one is the best opportunity in Ghana. Due to this reason, when we discussed last year, conducting the conference this year, 2019, in Addis Ababa is very important, and the Ethiopian Chamber of Commerce is also working on this, and even they will come and they already signed the Memorandum of Understanding. So that's the reason why you choose Ethiopia.
well, if I may.
High-level delegations from the two countries are expected to grace the occasion.
All right, so in a related development, the March deadline for the Continental Free Trade Agreement is fast approaching. 18 out of 22 countries have so far signed the agreement, which requires members to remove tariff from 90% of goods, allowing free access to commodities, goods and services across the continent. There are, however, fears that some countries might not be able to meet the deadline. But speaking at a news conference in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Commissioner of Trade and Industry at the AU, Albert Muchanga, said the AU is sticking to the deadline.
That when she issues a media brief, come and witness the signing ceremony, all of you are going to rush there. So I'm deliberately not going to give you those two countries. But it will happen as soon as the summit is underway. The two heads of state are ready to sign, and the embassies here have officially written us that they are going to sign. Yes, deadlines are there. We are confident. Like I said, that there are steps in 12 African Union member states at the level of national assemblies to process the recommendations from their cabinets that we would like this agreement to be approved or that by the National Assembly. Out of those 12, we expect 5. And end time now, we are going to get some indication that an approval has been made. And one of them have told us that the National Assembly is aware of the fact that the summit starts on Sunday. They are trying as much as possible to approve. So we are confident that we can have the minimum threshold of 22 by March this year. Because the 21st March is a very, very important day in the history of the African Continental Free Trade Area. It will be the first anniversary. And even in homes, when the baby is 1 year old, there's a lot of excitement. And the member states are aware.
Let's do other stories now. Entrepreneurs are calling on government to develop a strategy to streamline how taxes are filed. Currently, the processes involved have been described as a disincentive to businesses. It is for this reason that the PricewaterhouseCoopers, in collaboration with Joy Business, are actually having the knowledge series education to actually educate the public. Let's hear from some of the entrepreneurs ahead of that event.
The tax regime should be clear. So one of the things for SMEs, they don't understand. You know, when I started, the struggles like which tax do you pay, where do you go, how do you even get, your TIN number, those things are really hard, right? And so government needs to make it easy if government needs to make it easy for them to collect the money, they should need to make it easy for us to understand what the tax regimes are, where we go to, what you need to do, how much you need to pay, that sort of thing.
The paperwork involved also is quite technical for some small business owners.
Is that an admission that the paperwork becomes too cumbersome and that makes you struggle in paying the taxes?
Yes, it is a lot of paperwork to do when you are going to pay your taxes. And that's why people even try to outsource to us. So if it is quite easier, they would have gone there to do it. Also, the VAT changes. Most people don't know how the calculation is done. At first, it was just a flat 17.5 on the service charge, but currently it is graduated. So first, you end up doing 2.5 before applying the 12.5 on the subtotal that you get. We get some invoices from vendors who are still using the old system. So that shows you that there is a gap in terms of understanding how the new changes are to be implemented.
I think that systems have been streamlined and other organizations have been able to streamline their services to make it more friendly, such that you are not supposed to walk into their offices to make any inquiries or to do any payments. For me, the payment process can be made more friendlier and easier by allowing us to do mobile money payments or bank transfers or other secured payments, so that we can also focus on other activities as well. Because I'm supposed to go to the taxpayer's office, I spend so much time there because there are so many people there, and that is productive time going down the drain. So if the system can be streamlined to make it easier for us to pay our taxes, I think that would really help. You will.
So February 12th is the date, and for the Joy Business PwC Knowledge Series on taxes, you can join us at the Mövenpick Ambassador Hotel for what promises to be a very interesting session. The time is 8:30 a.m. and the hashtag is IntelliTax. So some local stories now, and the controversy surrounding Unipass National Single Window has been dragged to court. Details in a compilation of some local stories next.
The controversy surrounding the Unipass National Single Window is far from over, with West Blue Ghana Limited, an IT solution firm, suing the operators of the system for allegedly pirating its software for the project. The suit, filed at the Commercial Division of the Accra High Court, is against Ghana Link Network Services Limited, Customs Unipass International Agency of Korea, and Word Smart Limited. West Blue is seeking an order from the court to restrain the three companies, their directors, agents, or anyone acting in their names from using its software as part of the Unipass system. Work on Accra Sound Railway has resumed weeks after it was temporarily halted because of activities of encroachers. The activities of the encroachers, who included sand winners, had compromised the structural integrity of the existing facility, leaving the Ghana Railways Limited with no option but to reconstruct new ones. In anticipation of the establishment of a pineapple processing factory in the area, the Akumfi Strafa Pineapple Growers Association expanded their farms and were eagerly anticipating a good harvest. Sadly, their farms have been attacked by pests, which have left many of them worried as they watch their investments go down the drain. The farmers have therefore called for the increased allocation of extension officers to help them redeem their farms from pest infestation.